Financial Fun Friday. Hey, welcome Facebook, but I just wanted to say good morning. Today is going to be a great day. Good morning. But let's get this program started. Oh my goodness.
I fell for it, y'all. I fell for it. I fell for that non-singing, y'all. You see how I just went all in with her? That's my partner.
Because it's a great day. And now let's You are welcome here at Financial Fun Friday. So welcome to Financial Fun Friday, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I am your co-host, Darlene Jenkins, and my other co-host,
Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Yes, Dr. Rita B. Rowland. And we are with Affordable Benefit Solutions. And this is being presented to you and brought to you by the ABS Retirement Solutions Division, where we're always bringing you what's new and, more importantly, what's next in the financial services industry. So for those of you that are just joining us for the first time for Financial Fun Friday, where we make finances fun, because guess what, Rita? We're fun. We like having fun, even when we're talking about money. So this is a webinar that we do on the first and third Friday of each and every month. We broadcast at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're also broadcasting live on Facebook simultaneously. So hey, all of our Facebook friends and families out there, this is also when we do our check-in time, because we know you watch us from all over the country, soon to be the world. Even you also on YouTube, I want you to drop it in the comments where you're watching us from. And what we do during this broadcast is we just pull back the curtain so that you can not only get an in-depth understanding of your employer benefits, we also give you some good retirement preparation options, financial tips, and strategies. And of course, if you want to join us here live on the broadcast, where when you talk, guess what we do? We talk right back to you. You can join us here. You can register by going to our page at yourabsolutionsinc.com. Click on the Financial Fun Fridays icon, and you can register to be on here. Of course, you can like us on Facebook, follow us, and if you're watching us on YouTube, hello YouTube, and thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Drop a comment. Please make sure you ring the bell and subscribe. So Rita, do we have any check-ins before we get started this morning?
So I don't know, but I kind of froze. So was I frozen? Yeah, my internet is a little unstable, you guys. So welcome everybody. I'm not quite sure what my partner say, but welcome, and let us know where you're checking in from.
Yes, that's why I was saying, hey, check in, let us know where you're watching from before we get started. So, you know, just
we got Delaware.
We're having fun today.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we're putting the fun in this Financial Fun Friday. Oh, yes, we are.
Oh, goodness. So we got Delaware in the house. I do know that. Think we got Columbia. Yep. And
Fort Washington representing.
We got Upper Marlboro, and we got Washington, D.C.
All right now. And when all the rest, and you know, you can always jump in at any time and let us know where you're watching us from. And before we start talking about today's topic, I do want to let you know that the information that we're going to be sharing with you today, we present everything at, you know, in a general context. And the reason we do that is because without having individual information and knowledge about each of your situations that are on here or will be viewing this later, we can't individualize the information that we're sharing. However, what we can do, if you see something or you hear us speaking on something that you want more information about, or you want to know how we can help you, please reach out to your Financial Fun Friday team at 301-577-6340. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can always expand, and it'll be a link there that you can reach out directly to us. So again, 301-577-6340. Ask for your Financial Fun Friday team members, and we will be right there to help you. So today, Rita, we want to talk about threats to your retirement and your retirement income. So let's just jump right on into it. What say you, Rita?
Say good things, you know?
Yeah.
Well, Darla, I think as much as we have fun, this is one of the things I think that has really probably changed my life. And I think helping government employees. And I think knowing that I started this business because my mother died when I was 11, and being a postal worker, um, at a very young age, I realized that the pension that we received wasn't enough for 3 kids in death. And so as much as I think her job provided for me in a way that was great, even through college, I had health care. I think if my mother, even though she worked in the human resource department, sometimes we confuse what we believe a person works in human resources. How do they not know? But my mother hired people. She didn't do benefits. She didn't understand, how the benefits that she had on her job, how do she find the gaps in them and fill them in? Not that we were left destitute. My dad did get some money, but trying to raise 3 kids and mortgages, and, it was just some financial times just from her being sick, some emotional times. I realized young that being prepared was important. And so when this opportunity came to help government employees back in 1988, I really felt the need to jump on. And I didn't even understand that I would be here now. I really honestly just keep it real. I was just looking for some part-time income. I just finished college, was in the process of studying my CPA exam, and realized, okay, I need some money and I would like to help people. But as I got started in the business and really felt the heartbeat of helping people, over these 33 years, I've come to understand that what they thought they understood, they do, but they don't always understand it. And they don't always have the information right, which is what birthed out the book, Understanding Your Federal Employee Benefits. And then as I thought about shifting, 15 years in, my dad, was thinking about retiring. And so in 2005, he came to me and said, Rita, I want to retire. My father used to work for praise the Lord, he worked private industry most of his career. And 15 of those years, he worked at George Washington University, which is how I went to school free, because we wouldn't have had the money for that great education. But when he left GW, he went to go work for the government. And he had only 11 years in, a low salary. His high 3 was probably 36. He worked at the architect of the Capitol in housekeeping. But I'm very grateful. He realized he was retiring. He said, I'm going to retire, baby girl, I'm tired. My father, he's from down south. He started working when he was 8 and he retired at 65. So by that time, he had 57 years of working, whether it was in the field, working for Safeway, working for this, working for GW, now the government. He was ready to go. But at that moment, Darlene, our retirement division truly was birthed. And I didn't quite understand it even then, but we realized, because as we know that one of the things I think, Darlene, we don't always understand, especially married people, is that when both him and my stepmom, he was a FERS employee, my stepmom was a civil service employee. And if you work in the government, you understand that those are 2 different retirement systems, and how they operate is different. And my father said, I'm about to retire. And he didn't understand this. I was like, we got to plan, Dad, because Mom won't qualify for any of your Social Security. And because he only had 13 years in the government, a FERS employee, at 1% of 36,000, you guys already know that was no money. And so we realized that both of them working, Darlene, there were 2 streams of income coming in. When he retired, the streams of income changed again. Now, for most married people, it goes like this: 2 incomes full-time, 1 retired, 1 full-time, 1 retired income. The other one retired, 2 retired income, 1 pass away, there's only 1 income, and at that death. So it's like 5 transitions. But my father died before my stepmother stopped working. So it went from 2 income to retired to when he passed away, because she was a civil service employee, she did not qualify for his Social Security under the windfall elimination provision. And so now but because I understood that when my dad retired in 2005, he died December 2008, we already had a plan in place. We used his TSP to create multiple streams of income so that my stepmother wouldn't suffer. But I think if we hadn't understood that, we hadn't looked at what would the future look like. And many times, darling, we plan for retirement, but we don't always plan for the what ifs in life. We plan for the perfect picture in life. And life is never a perfect picture. And then when it does, hey, let's just give some credit for that. But normally it's these ever moving changes. And even if everything you do is right, we can't always control a pandemic. We can't control inflation doubling. We can't always control the market dropping. And so there's things in life that we cannot control. But the things that we can is what we have to do. And that's what, my father, us sitting down for retirement. One thing was understanding life insurance was the mandate for years, understanding how that worked, not only while you're working, but how vaguely works in retirement. That's another whole story too. And so I think what we want to always do is to help people understand, what does it look like, not only while I'm working, but when I retire. And if I'm married, what does the changes in our life look like? Because many people suffer because they haven't prepared for the multiple changes. And so we want to make sure that, next week we're having a workshop that you can join us so that you truly do understand. But Darlene, one thing I know, when I met you, I know Francine, your mother, she was in the government big time. She was in the union, but there's some things too that we even learned from her to help us to shift in our business. So why don't you share with them that as well?
Absolutely. Because again, what we're speaking on are the threats to your retirement income. And Rita just covered two very, very big ones. The first one, she went over not properly coordinating your benefits and understanding the importance of coordinating your benefits. Her father under FERS, her stepmom under civil service. What happens at death? What happens to the benefits? FERS employees, we know it's not a lot of civil service left anymore, but there are a few of you hanging around that may have that same situation. But for FERS employees, this becomes even more crucial for you because you have those three streams of income and making sure they're coordinated. Then Rita also touched on the other threat that was there as well, which was properly planning. What's your income plan look like? You got these three pools of money or three streams that are going to be coming in, but what's the plan for them? And Rita, I'm glad you brought up about my mom being big time. She was vice president of her union at one time. She knew the labor laws. What you were not going to do is get over on any of Francine Thompson Lanham's members in her union, which was Neffy. You were not.
You were not.
But what happened is, because she was my authority figure and she had been in the government for so long, and she did have a working knowledge of how the benefits work. So when I decided to leave the government, she was like, oh yeah, well, you're going to get all of this money back. You're going to get all your retirement back. You get money back from your life insurance because you didn't use it. You paid into it. So if you don't use it, you can cash that out. None of that was true. And we have some of that going on still, even right now today. Okay, even right now today. And when I worked in the government, because I'm a former federal employee myself, when I resigned from the government, I was actually working in the, back then we called it personnel, but the HR department. I was low level, but I still work with the personnel specialist because I was in central personnel. There were times looking back now that I know unintentionally the information given out wasn't always the best information for that employee, or could be misinterpreted. For instance, like Rita brought up, understanding the life insurance. This was the pitch when you came in for us. Are you married or single? Oh, you're married? Okay, well then you need option B. We didn't go over what happens as you age, what happens when you retire, and you're paying all of this money in. So some of us are on the job right now listening to people in a different retirement system, because that was something else my mother did too. She was under the civil service retirement telling me how things work when I was really under the FERS retirement system, and they were completely different. Completely different. And we still had that going on. And in Rita's book, Understanding Your Federal Employee Benefits for the New Retirement Climate, because it is new out here in these streets, you all. She has a chapter on, well, what about Bob? Because Bob is the person, or Barbara, are the people that are well respected, that have been around, that are giving the newer employees, showing them the ropes, telling them how you should do what how everything works. But they're seeing it from a different perspective on a number of levels. Are you married or single? You have children, no children. You have risk, no risk. So those are the type of things that you have to be up on as you continue to work. And that's what we here as your Financial Fun Friday team. These are the type of things we try to bring to the table. And one of the ways that we do that is we have ongoing, continuing educational workshops for you. And I'm going to share my screen again because we have another workshop that is coming up next Tuesday that we want to invite you all to on specifically understanding your federal employee benefits for the new retirement climate. As Rita said, this workshop was birthed out of her book. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say too, Darlene, that last point you said that, sometimes you can speak to a person and it's totally different. But then there's times when you can speak to a FERS employee, same birthday, same age, same salary, same everything. So you would say, well, Rita, I spoke to them and everything about us is the same. But what may not be the same is your dreams, your goals, your desire. And so even if your systems and all of that, Darlene, is the same, if your goals and dreams are different, then you still can't always compare because what you want could be different from them. Your risk tolerant, what makes you sleep well at night could be different. And you guys have everything in your employer the exact same, but in your actual life, what's important to you is totally different, which means your planning still has to be different.
Yes, and the circumstances. We are encouraging you to register and join us for this workshop, because if you are or have felt anxious about losing money again in the market downturn, you need to learn what are the two things that you can do to make sure you can protect your portfolio for the next downturn and not worry about having low, returns or losing money. Or do you secretly fear outliving your retirement assets? Not that you won't have the money coming in, but it's just not enough. Remember, we just went through 8% inflation. You know how I felt at that grocery store, ringing out, you go in there. Some people became vegetarians because they couldn't afford the chicken no more. Yeah, that inflation also helped some of us get off of pork, bacon, I mean. But anyway, I digress. Or do you simply want a plan to provide you with clarity on how your money is going to flow? That no matter what the what ifs in life that come up, you're going to be ready. Then I would encourage you to register for our workshop. It's going to be next Tuesday, May the 9th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, it's virtual, so you can watch us from anywhere you choose to be. You can register, it's on the screen. If you're on the phone, because you have to get it correctly. So if you're on the phone, please call our office 301-577-6340, and we will get you the registration information so that you can register. But we're going to be going over a lot more in depth on how to avoid some of the threats that we've covered now. And Rita, another one is the healthcare threat.
Yes.
That devastated my mom and me and my child.
Yes.
Not just because she got sick and she passed and we mourned her. I'm talking about financially and emotionally and physically. If you don't have a plan and fully understand just how your health insurance, not understanding that benefit, can impact you 20 years down the line, you need to join us for this workshop on May the 9th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rita?
And I think what you just said was so powerful, because It's so much. I think what happens, and that's the whole purpose of this, is to really bring people to a place not only of understanding, but being able to connect all of the dots. And sometimes we get some of the dots. And your mother had all the dots except for the health dot. But that dot right there can devastate every other dot. So her health messed up, income messed up, reserve, messed up vacationing and traveling, all those things that she had for herself, because not having a health plan, it wasn't because she couldn't go to the Bahamas anymore or travel the way she want, but because the finances wasn't good. Even when she got well, the money wasn't there. So
absolutely,
it's important to understand the impact of not, and when you don't plan, you do plan. Because if you don't plan to succeed, you're really planning to fail. And when you plan to fail, who else fails with you? So Darlene and her daughter suffered because her mother refused to actually plan. So just think about this. Sometimes it's not even always about you. It's about those that you love that will care about you and will care about what it looks like for you. So just not, again, you know us, we're not here to fear people. We're here to educate. And so what you're coming to Tuesday, I'm going to educate you on understanding, because once you then understand, you can then make some wise decision of what's best for you and how do you fill in the gaps and put all of the pieces to your retirement puzzle together, because Darlene puzzle is not my puzzle and is not Miss Denise puzzle. Everybody puzzle is different.
Absolutely. And as Rita just said, contact us today so that we can help you map out a strategy and put all of those pieces together. And you know what? It starts Tuesday night, May the 9th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But absolutely reach out to us so that we can help you map out a strategy to put all of the pieces in place. That's all we have. The pencil was, so that's all we wrote. The pencil broke. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Financial Fun Friday. And I just want to say, good morning. Today is going to be a great day. So go make it a great day for the rest of your day on purpose. Again, register for our upcoming workshop. If you follow us on Facebook, the replay will be there. Rita will also post the link on Facebook for the workshop. And you know what? Hey, let me try to, no, Rita, that's not it. It has to be exactly capitalized. That last part has to be capitalized. You're on.
Wait a minute, y'all. Just stay on now. I'm fixing it for you right now.
Yes, it has to, be capitalized.